And with that, viewers, we see the Commerce Ministry preparing to just start that address in just a short while. The entire official headed by the Union Minister Piyush Goyal himself have already assembled. It's a very crucial briefing that's to take place after the trade agreement, the interim trade agreement, that is, the framework, has been released earlier in the day itself around 6 a.m. in the morning today, when we saw that joint statement getting released by both the nations. It's a very crucial briefing that will be addressing all questions with regards to the framework. Of course, several sectors are already being looked at and decoded by experts and economists, and questions have been arising. If we speak of the two sectors that are specifically being looked into, which have questions arising at this point of time, especially when we speak of the opposition in the country, it's the agricultural sector, and as well as the US, how tariffs have been zeroed for US industrial products, and also the energy supply, wherein the US had in fact come in to ask India to replace Russian oil purchases with purchase from the United States with a different source. At this point of time, it's Venezuela that's been pointed out by the United States. So, but remember, our country has always maintained that at any point of time, they will only be purchasing energy based on what suits our interest and our economic interest the best and at the most profitable rates for us. At the most cost-saving, I beg your pardon, rates for us. So, it's a very crucial framework that's come into announcement today. It is one that we are looking at in terms of negotiations that have taken place not just for months but for years now. And the last few months, of course, we have seen how things had taken a strenuous turn of sorts, especially in the middle of 2025. But now we see things finally taking concrete shape. It is that BTA, the bilateral trade agreement, that all eyes are set on, which is still being worked upon. The final nitty-gritty is being sorted out. But the framework of what it shall broadly be containing has already been released in the joint statement today, and that is exactly what this briefing will be about. Decoding the finer points of that very framework that's been announced earlier. And it is Union Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal who has in fact been at the very lead and at the helm of things when it comes to the talks that's been underway between Washington and New Delhi for this very trade deal. India has been signing crucial FTAs. Just a little while ago, we had seen the FTA with the EU that also got signed. Last year as well, we had seen individual FTAs with several European countries as well. Prime Minister himself is right now on an official visit to Malaysia, again, where defense will be taking a very crucial part in the bilateral talks, more deals that will be signed there as well. So India has been on the rise economically speaking, especially in terms of ties.
Our press conference sharp at 2 o'clock in about 2 minutes. It will begin with introductory remarks by Minister Sir. Followed by that, we will have a presentation. Then we will take your questions. So we'll be ready with your cameras and alert your office. We'll start sharply at 2 o'clock.
That's an announcement that just came in from the Ministry of Commerce at this point of time. As they say, the 2 o'clock is when they will sharply be beginning the very address. Just a few minutes from now, all our eyes are on this very press briefing that will take place with Piyush Goyal heading it, addressing the entire framework, addressing all questions around the framework. The opposition, remember, since early morning has raised two questions on the agreement. And they have to say, the interim agreement that is, they have to say that how much has India conceded to the United States in this very deal as we speak. But Piyush Goyal, as well as several other ministers from the government, from the cabinet, has already come out to hail this very deal. And Piyush Goyal himself has said that if it is farmers that one is concerned about in the country, one is worried about that what shall happen to them, it is something that has been kept in mind by the government, and they will be safeguarding the farmers' interest, because that comes in as the most important point in focus for the Indian side when we speak of this very deal. Now, just quickly, before the press conference begins, before this address begins, let me take you through roughly what this deal has portrayed so far. And when we say so far, we're speaking of specifically the agricultural sector. There are certain portions, there are certain items that have been excluded where no concessions shall be provided, no entry for fruits from the United States. And when we speak of fruits, there is specifically bananas and mangoes. When we speak of bananas, there's fresh bananas and other banana products. For mangoes, there's dried mango slices, mango pulp, any other mango product, also mango slices in brine that's included in it. So these will not have concessions given by the Indian government. So this is what we are learning at this point of time. There's also another dry fruits that we see, that the dry fruit items that we see, that's also been listed out. There's dry fruits, there's preserved fruits or nuts, and there's peels. If you look at dry fruits, there's prunes, dried apples, dried tamarind, singora, which is also very popularly called water chestnut, whole, and others.
आज